To win a race like this would be a dream come true for really any trail and ultra runner. For me, it would mean the culmination of a lot of really, really hard work.
Right now, I'm relatively inexperienced. Tollefson was a learning experience. Western States was a revelatory experience in terms of, physically, mentally, places you can go and dig yourself out of. Have to recognize that, yes, there is a possibility I could podium or win. You also have to put it in perspective and realize there are also 30 other guys thinking that same thing.
I work really hard with the goal of winning races like this. Whether or not it's realistic is another story entirely, but for me that's always kind of the dream and always the goal. I think, certainly on my best day I have the capability of at least contending for podium position in a race like this. So based on all the hard work that I've done and the fact that I've focused really hard on this race specifically, I think that's put me in a good place to do that. And if I end up having the race of my life, like I said, it'd be a dream come true.
So after UTMB, I took a month off of training, and then last month and a half, I've been really getting back into training again, gearing up for the North Face 50. I don't really think too much about the competition. I know it's going to be a stacked field. I know there's going to be 20 plus guys out there that are going to crank out from the very beginning, and for me to run my best race, I try not to focus on that.
To win the North Face 50 would be really big for me because it would mean that I beat some people that have beat me before, and also because there's a lot of attention going into the race. It's kind of seen as this end of the season championship race. So in terms of the media coverage and just the prestige and the level of competition, it would be huge for me. It would probably be the biggest ultra trail win of my career if I won this race.
Heading into my first 50 miler, it's pretty exciting. It's something that I think I could do pretty well at. The unknown is something that I've always been drawn towards, and this is totally unknown to me. I think is going to be a huge challenge both mentally and physically, but I welcome it with open arms. Totally different world. Everything that I've learned through track and field and road racing, new barriers to tackle, both from a terrain standpoint, the mentality going into a race. It's revitalized my running. If I were able to podium at this race, topple some of those big names, take their scalps, I'd be very excited.
This has been my A goal for the second half of the season.
I had a good training block, confident in my fitness.
I definitely want to be number one in this race.
It's going to take a really top race from somebody to win this thing.
There always comes a point in the race, usually right around halfway or a little after halfway, where you're starting to feel pretty tired and you're starting to doubt yourself. And I've, come to realize over the years, I chose to do running. Running is my passion and my hobby, and I signed up for this race. It's not like I have to do this, so I've been excited about it for months and months. So I think back to my training, I made a lot of confidence from the training. You worked hard for this, you sacrificed for this, so you should finish it at least. And then I think my supporters, my girlfriend Sandy, my parents who are watching the results are rooting for me, and I'm like, well, I don't want to let them down because they came all the way down here for this, and they spent a lot of time and money and energy supporting me. So I think of them and other things outside of the race, and that gives me a lot of motivation to fight through the fatigue and to be more inspired when I run. And then I'm always a really competitive person. I want to win. I wanted to redeem myself here, and I wanted to fight really hard, and I didn't want to let myself down. So I try to just flip a switch in my mind and just kind of disassociate from the pain and try to focus on my goals and what I want out of the race. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't as well, but I always try as hard as I can, and I always fight through the pain. And today I dug really deep in the pain cave or the hurt locker, and was able to find reserves in my legs that I didn't think I had. So that's kind of what powered me through the last 10 miles.